Hello? Alright. Why is it... Oh, yeah, it's cold in here because... I don't remember that. Can I click on that for a bonus thing? No, I can't. Oh, damn it. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently I'm being menopausal today because I'm having hot and cold flashes. Ugh. It's still not enough. 1 second. There we go. Now I'm wearing a jacket, some pants, and yeah, I think we're good. All right, contender. Glory to House, Lord Captain. All right.
Victory awaits!
I would love to help you people. I actually have ration cards.
Excellence matters. A new challenge for me?
Thief leader. Several people are eagerly rummaging through a rack filled with weapons from the Enforcer's arsenal. A big man with a pockmarked face is the first to react to your presence. He attracts the others' attention with a piercing whistle and barks out, "Who are you? There's not supposed to be anyone hit." It doesn't matter. Identify yourself. Take a close look. Makeshift armor peeks out from beneath their ragged clothes, and their battered weapons display a patchwork of crude repairs. Group stares longingly at the racks where good plasteel gleams, restlessly clutching their humble weapons. You notice that the little finger on every person's right hand is been cut off. This is hardly a coincidence. Yeah? I am rogue trader Seth von Valencius, and you will explain what is going on here to your betters. People turn to stare at you in disbelief and exchange heated whispers. The excitement is interrupted by the leader's roar. What are you gawping at? Hurry up and bend your backs, as is right and proper. Excellent, this is proper. I was thinking of killing you, but now I shall give you 5 seconds. Your lordship, you must excuse these blockheads. I was taken aback myself, for it's not every day you see the rogue trader in the flesh. As for this, the man cast a grim glance at the rack. I won't insult you by denying it. You caught us red-handed. Who are you? The Hard Nines, a gang. I mean, a brotherhood from the Transport Bay 9. Don't think we're parasites. We do our bit for the prosperity of this ship. We're sort of assistants to the enforcers, self-appointed. We make sure that the order is maintained in the compartments where the enforcers are too lazy or greedy for bribes. We put a stop to robbery and free thinking. That's good. The only person who should be thinking is me. What was I saying? I can't remember. Something about thinking. Oh. You all have your little fingers cut off. What does it mean? It's our gang's initiation rite, a fine tradition. By voluntarily removing a finger, the newcomer shows their determination and willingness to join us forever. It's a badge of honor. And also their ability to resist infection, apparently, down in this shithole. Alright, I suppose I shall permit you to take a few of the more basic weapons. Serve the ship well. Yeah, that, boys, the Lord Captain himself is expecting good things from us. We can't let him down! We will fulfill your commands to the letter. Like, fuck if I know. These are peasants. Why should I give a shit about the peasantry?
I won't tolerate weakness.
And now I'm gonna rob a little bit myself. The Ripper. I would give it to you. Alright, hang on. Alright, one second. I'm going to experiment with something. Drop.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Alright, stupid people. If you're not gonna take the fucking cards, just follow me.
Operation successful.
I never should have talked to these people. But hey, if I get into a fight, they can be useful cannon fodder.
Pay attention.
Oh, thank you. More ration cards.
It's about time.
Alright, I have no clue what's about to happen, so I'm going to save us a little bit. Oh god, it's a rogue trader! Well, I am the rogue trader as far as you're concerned. I am your god! No, wait, I am not your god. I am the servant of your god! Bow before me. Oh, sorry, I thought we were in a cutscene. Oh, no, apparently we are. Aww. I'm gonna be sick. Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh. Oh my god, I did not expect that to hit my gag reflex that hard. Which is impressive considering that my gag reflex is almost completely gone. I spent too many years in nursing. My gag reflex is almost completely gone. I need to go get a drink of water. I'll be right back. Okay. Oh. Just don't look at the raw sewage being, you know, doled out to my fucking... Oh, don't look at that thing. Oh, please no. Oh.
Done. Halt. I noticed something.
See? Right there.
None shall stand in my way.
I just have a hard time seeing this as, you know, being part of a frickin' starship.
A new challenge for me? What is that?
An old man in pitiful rags listens intently to the sound of your footsteps, a stinking piece of cloth wrapped around his eyes with greenish pus oozing from under it. The old man lays his trembling hands protectively on the heap of junk that serves as his bed as well as his table. An empty beggar's mug makes a clinking sound next to his withered leg. Yeah. Throw a strip of dried ration meat. That's probably going to result in him getting the shit beat out of him, but sure, why not? Could this be a true miracle of the Emperor, or is it just another dream? What happened to your eyes? The void rats gnawed them out while I was asleep, and the sewer water my wounds were washed with was infected, turns out. The pain became a stinging feeling that won't go away and only gets worse. How do you manage to survive? People help me. Good people, not so good ones too. He sweeps his withered arm vacantly around the slum.
As it should be.
SE3U. Okay, that's an interesting detail. The Fallen. The day the Lord Captain wandered into our slum will be remembered in legends. The broad-shouldered man raises a hand in greeting. His old prosthetic creaks plaintively as it takes the weight of his body. The locals and the enforcers call me the foreman. I have no other name. You might say I'm in charge here, in this hole of a place. You recognize the shaggy red beard and the keen black eyes. This is the man who watched you during your encounter with the enforcer and the station worker. I saw you near the marketplace. What were you doing there? Watching one of my workers take a beating. I feel sorry for the lad, but there was nothing I could do. The foreman smiles wryly, showing his yellow teeth. Almost all of the front ones have been knocked out. I've stuck my neck out in the past, not doing it again. What are you cooking in that vat? Believe it or not, this soup is made from mold slime and technical drain water. Has been simmering here in the vat for at least 200 years, non-stop. See the growth on the walls over there? We harvest it, dry it, and use it to season the soup. If we're lucky, the smell attracts the void rat, and someone gets to have meat in their bowl. The foreman points a finger proudly towards the vat. It's for those who can't even earn a ration card. I feed them in exchange for services or favors. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it don't. My people keep an eye out for workers trying to eat 2 bowls in one sitting. One is enough to fill your stomach for an entire watch. Some complain about the taste. Of course, ingrates. No. I'm a benevolent commissar and rogue trader. I'm not that benevolent. Jesus fucking Christ. I don't need to ram my finger down my throat and retch it all up later. I seek the blood-spun Webb's temple. Do you know where it is? The cultists don't let people like me in on their rights and their mysteries. I'm grateful to them for their service to the God Emperor, but to be honest, I can't get behind their love of death. I'm much too fond of living. Leave. I would give you fuck nuggets a ration card. The problem is
Follow
the
my
dialogue
lead.
won't let me. I'm picking these things up left and fucking right. Oh, okay.
I see what others do not. I do what I must.
Give our gift to the one who's...
It's about time.
There, I see. Weapons are usually transported. I will simply place a stack of ration cards. Sure. Benefactor, Nourisher, may the Lord Captain protect you. That weapons grade plasteel, polished and ready to kill. The old man was leading against several brand new auto guns wrapped in greasy rags. Oh, come on! Pathetic fool, that's our secrecy gone right down the shitter. Folks, we're gonna have to make some noise. A common worker, her face so nondescript it looks almost scrubbed off, is aiming a weapon at you that she produced seemingly out of no. Leave no witnesses!
Submit, and you'll die quickly.
I will level you!
Ooh, I know what to do here. Yep, no innocence. Everybody gets the stink eye.
Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. Now you're clad in scarlet. I'll show you why navigators are feared.
Rejoice in battle! Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Each strike is a prayer. Power resides in the will of the righteous. Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Eradicated. Faith without deeds is worthless.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. For someone. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
As the Emperor commands, each strike is a prayer. That is not the Emperor's will. Eradicated.
I'll do what it takes.
Are you all right, Lord Captain? Those cutthroats didn't hurt you, I hope. The man's prosthetic leg has been shot, and it carries his weight awkwardly. What the throne's name was that? I'm not sure. Perhaps these freeloaders believe the tales of the Nemesite. As it happens, I've complained to Captain Fresno about some idiots who've been painting pictures on the walls, inciting people. What did he say? I've got everything under control. Had I known it would come to this, I'd have nabbed those sods and thrown them into the pestilence pit myself. And now we'll be pestered by enforcers to no end. Who is the Nemesite? Just a story they tell around here. There's a chap, they say, wanders around the lower decks helping the poor who can't earn a living for themselves, and standing up to the officers and enforcers in defense of the weak, except he's just a story and nothing more. I will be speaking to Captain Frenstow about what happened. Well, in your case, he'll certainly hear you out, and not... He indicates his broken ribs. You know. Leave. Well, do you have anything interesting for me? Nope, just more trophies.
I won't tolerate weakness.
And what is this? A stolen autocannon? Okay. Oh my god, there's more of them. Oh. Hey, why'd you lose your blade?
He awaits.
Yeah, it works for me. Toss a stack of ration cards. Let your bellies be full tonight. Praise be the Lord Captain. No, there we go.
None shall stand in my way.
They are flashing talks. Oh, I must be in the,
The Vizier. Would he be proud? Am I?
Zdenna. A figure in decaying tatters is rocking to and fro, muttering indistinctly in several different voices, occasionally breaking into hoarse laughter. As you come closer, she freezes and turns to look at you. An ugly rusted mask covers her face. Are you here to take Zdenna to the other side? No. No, no, no. You're just wandering around in the dark looking for the light, but it's nowhere to be found. Do you really not see it? There is a blood symbol next to you. I've seen such marks before. Is this another part of the song of the trailing of blood? Oh yes, 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 the song. Here! Listen, listen, listen. She wandered an eternity in dark, yet was consoled, webbed foretold. Undying one's blood secrets glowed, a light to guide her faithful fold. But threads must end, and so the spider did what she was owed, her life and death to ship bestowed. And you'll see, if you learn to see, look into the darkness, look, look, look. You peer into the darkness and are gradually able to make out the outlines of objects hidden in the shadows, rotting corpses, rough walls, the twitching death throes of infected people left here to die. You see no light in this place, only more darkness and despair. You don't see, do you? You don't see! Zdenna shakes her head frantically and starts tearing off her rags. Strips of decaying flesh peel off along with them. You will not see until you become like Zdenna, the flesh and blood of the ship. How do I become the flagship's blood? Oh, Zdenna will show you, and you'll see the true light. Come, come now. Yep. What? Plunge into the ventil... Ugh. I am surprised Nurgle hasn't made an appearance here. Ugh.
Watch your steps.
The shadows reveal their secrets. Just as I was taught. Just as he ordained.
The Vizier. Would he be proud? Am I?
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Oh, well, okay. Well, I guess we have shit for, Goth Girl. So many chain swords, so little time. Alright, well... By the God Emperor's shiny ballsack! Shiny hairless ballsack.
The machine god grants me insight.
Wait, what? Well, bugger! Whee! What you want? For what crime did you kill this man? For the crime of wealth. That dead bastard had rations and fuel cells. We traded them for forage. Mutants, invalids, man-eaters. Oh, mold-eaters, outcasts, folks who have no place even among the lowest of the low. You can see that no one ever shows you any kindness. Don't expect thanks, you gave it to me freely. You need medicine and food, I shall have them brought to you. Will you now? We know your kindness. You'll douse us with poison and leave us to die, so we won't sell you your ship. Well, I tried. Oh, you'll leave, but without your boots and your weapons, and maybe a piece or two of your flesh. Don't ever anyone... Okay. Poking your nose in the pestilence pits? Alright, the ship will be cleaner without you.
Take a knee. And
Let it
bow
never be
before
said
me.
that I, the Lord Captain, am not generous to my servants. Oh, I see. Cassia, nuke these shit-heels up front here, please. And Argenta, if you would be ever so kind as just deal with them. Ooh, pull back. Pull back there, Sethy boy.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Chaos guides me.
That is foolishness.
Oh, I know what I'll do.
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Not a problem. You didn't stand a chance.
I see.
I serve the ruinous powers! Ah! Out of my way!
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. I'll do it.
Suck it.
Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is... I am his will made manifest. I'll do it. Each strike is a prayer.
Oh, Argenta, such a lovely lady that you are. Please, 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 just nuke these. Well, Oh, what am I humming and hawing about? I have a guaranteed hit no matter what. I have the blessed bolt shell.
Commands, this is why I was chosen.
Okay, I can keep going.
I'll do it. For you, my Emperor!
And we go again.
As the Emperor commands,
And we go again.
I'll do it. This is why I was chosen.
And again.
Doubt is for the weak.
And again. Alright.
As the Emperor commands,
Argenta never stops. Oh, I know why. It's because I popped this one. Firearm Mastery. Oh, she's just gonna keep going. She can fire as many... Oh my god.
I'll do it. Faith without deeds is none can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Okay, she's finally done.
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If I must. Another soul slips beyond the veil. Four creatures!
Oh dear god, this woman can run.
I will leave footprints of scarlet. Killing brings me no pleasure.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
In we go! The rotating blades promise nothing but a senseless and brutal death. Slipping past them would require an unreasonably precise calculations or blind luck. While listening to the air currents for a moment, you think you hear Zedena's whispered prayers rising up from the depths of the shaft. Dogmatic follower, pray to the Emperor. I put my life in thy hands, for I believe truly that thou wilt protect. The words come easily, and all of your doubt fades away. Somehow you know with certainty that your life will not end here. Jump. The Emperor doth protecteth. Now, can the Emperor please cure my unsightly rash? Okay, that's disturbing.
A new challenge for me. I did fine.
Give me the loot. Loot and boots. And all the other good shit.
It's about time.
Down, down, down in a burning ring of fire. I went down, down, down in the flames. Wait, what? Oh. Well. Since I'm already back. Go down.
Victory awaits!
Give me the goods.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Ah, go down. Temple of the Blood-Spun Web. Ew.
We need to investigate.
Cold stone sarcophagus. Okay. The bones of the deceased. That seems uncomfortable. They sleep in coffins on the bones of their deceased predecessors. Okay. Medicaid, 95%.
Excellence matters.
Okay. Theodora, you were a fucking nutty lady, I tell you that much. A frail old man, gray beard tinged with blood, folds his wrinkled hands in a ritual gesture. His body is covered in scars, some old, some fresh. His eyes are sewn tightly shut. His mouth is a cleft at both corners, making his jaw seem eerily snake-like. And the Lord of the Ark walked the paths of unlife in the footsteps of the web's very first spinner. And the servants of death bowed before him, for the Domin is the giver of life. Yes, yes, the truth like a stream pours from your lips. We welcome him as the tenets demand. Your hues are almost as pale as the gray of your beard, but what is this? Cassia flinches and takes a shuddering breath. A scarlet whirlwind shines through faded colors. A thin blade appears in the old man's trembling hands, although his arms are stiff and look like they can barely bend. In the next instant, the dynasty's symbol is etched on his forehead, dripping blood. With a brief motion, he flicks the blood off his blade, and several drops land on your face. The blood-spun web welcomes its new lord. I am the Vizier. For many years we have waited, and now you are here. We have waited, whispers echoes from the shadows. So you just walked my companions in here the normal way while I was forced to take that jump? Now, what do you mean you have waited for me many years? It was not so long ago I made the acquaintance of the cults. As I delve into my divinations from the flesh and blood of the departed ones, I turn to a relic most ancient and priceless. It is his tarot, inherited by the cult from the matriarch Spider, who spun the first thread. One of the readings I did back when I still had the strength to leave the temple and usher souls on their final journey. One of the readings I did back when I still had the strength to leave the temple and usher souls on their final journey. That was when, the intricate tangle of destiny, I glimpsed our meeting. But when we would meet, alas, was not revealed to me. So we waited year after year, and now the hour has come. Ah! Well, you're a man of great patience, I see. I commend thee. I have walked the path of the matriarch spider. What now? The song of the trailing blood tells of a path fraught with trials, but by accepting it and setting out on that path, you pass the first one, the trial of resolve. For not everyone is prepared to shun their fear and doubt and embark on search for the unknown, a search for death. The trial of compassion was the second one. You passed it when you put yourself, albeit briefly, in the service of another soul, a man suffering from burns. For the choice between life and death is to be made only by those willing to take responsibility for the pain of another. The third trial was the trial of justice. In assuming the role of judge for an apostate of our faith, you declared your right to influence the balance of life and death that the errant soul had upset, and the force of the trial of duty. Duty always leads to death. Wait. We are prepared to render our duty to the Undying One, fearless and accepting of our purpose, which is to serve him. You too have proven yourself prepared, and the 4 trials have brought you here. Well, the path I've walked has helped me understand myself better. For the tenets teach us that the lessons learned is in and of itself supreme. Yeah. For the tenets teach us that the lessons learned is in itself the supreme reward for one who's open to self-discovery. There's a masturbation joke in there. By the way, this entire place and their love of blood and spraying blood everywhere. There is a menstruation joke just waiting to be told. I'm just not cool, or, I'm just not flippant enough to pull it off properly. The vizier's sewn-shut eyes seem to peer into your face, studying it. Then he turns away and speaks to empty space again. Peace, my brother. The time has almost come. I see your eyes are sewn shut. Are you blind, or is that another of the cult's rituals? I was sighted for much of my life, until a disciple of mine violated the tenets, and I realized just how blind I had been. A lesson, but a bitter one. To look with one's eyes alone is to be easily fooled, but the heart cannot be lied to. Such is the truth, and such was my choice. I sealed my eyelids with the gas of true sight. Now I see more and better. Who is it you talk to all the time? I see the echoes of those who came before us and those who were with us, but I have since crossed over to the other side. My brothers and sisters raised by the cult. I hear them from beyond their deaths. They share their wisdom, I heed them. The other spinners, they hear not, for that burden is mine to bear. So this entire conversation is another test, I imagine. Smile graces the vizier's bluish lips. The tenets command us to be prepared for all trials, corporeal and spiritual alike. Are you prepared, Daman Seth? His mouth closes, but... Why do I see warp fuckery everywhere now? His mouth closes, but you can still hear his whisper. A prickling sensation in your face is making you increasingly anxious. You raise a hand to your cheek, only to realize you can't feel it. You look at your palm to see a few smudged drops of blood from the vizier's blade. A strange, serene... Oh, he poisoned me. A strange, serene calm envelops your body. Your fatigue subsides, and you seem to float in the air, seeing things you had not noticed before. The shadows in the corners taking shape and color. The subdued lumen lights playing on the cultist's bone masks. Are they really masks? They're tall, lean, empty-eyed wearers might as well be dead people. A chill runs down your spine. One moment the walls of Death's sanctum grow infinitely wide. The next, they are so narrow as to make it hard to breathe. The floor dances under your feet, and the Undying Emperor statue seems to shake its head threateningly as it looks down upon you. Okay, so it's not warp fuckery, I've just been drugged. Your heart is beating slowly, your breath has become deeper, and your thoughts are muddled. You seem to be under the influence of a potent stimulant. Alright, what happens now? That is for you to tell, not me. Oh, sorry, that is for you to tell me. What is in the cave? Only what you take with you. The visions are starting to end. Okay. Alright. Initiate me as a servant of death. Fine. A servant of death hisses you have become the blood of the flagship. Now you'll become one of his faithful servants. We may not name you a spinner, for a spinner's threat demands forsaking of one's previous life, but the blood-spun web will accept you. The tenants allow it, but only for a Daman who has followed the trailing blood until the end. I just wanted to be nice and get along with people. And now I'm about to take a bloodbath. Literally. Upon the ritual platform at the Undying Emperor's feet, the keen gaze of his dark, empty eyes talks you to the completely insignificant, surprising, anything blood pouring from the sands. Okay, Death has spoken your name, Daman Seth. Death accepts you. I'm going to offer up a prayer. Each word consecrated to him echoes in your temples and chest. Your vein become hot, and your blood turns to liquid flame. You have no fear in you. A whisper seems to come from above, from the Emperor's lips. Of stone, I see you. Okay, that's creepy. Could this lingering, okay, yeah. The strange rash you developed in the Freightline's pestilent pit grows pale and scabs over. A healing grace descends upon— Well, thank goodness for that! Death has accepted you, Daman Seth. Now, and for all of time, you are the Blood Warden and the Undying One's most venerable servant. A strange whisper brushed against the edge of your hearing. You cannot make out the words spoken by the infinitely distant yet infinitely powerful voice. You are not even certain whether you're actually hearing something. Seth gained the ability Battle Trance. It felt as if the God Emperor was watching me. To many, he comes during their time of service, in images of blood and whispers from the shadow, but remember that those are mere visions, for true death will not come for you until your time, and it will take your soul gently into its bony hands. So the ritual is complete? The ritual is complete, but you are not. The Vizier gestures for one of the cultists, who is carefully holding a strange garment to come closer. For years we have maintained fealty to the Domini. We have collected sacred symbols and relics. You are the first in 3 generations of lords and ladies to grace this sanctum, and the first of them all to be initiated so. We are grateful. We are uplifted in spirit. Hear our exaltation and accept this gift of a vestment sewn from the bones of his faithful with the threads of death. The cultists whisper prayers to the Undying One as they help you change your clothes and regain your faculties. To become the flagship's blood. Okay, so apparently not even Theodora did this. I see. Alright, what am I doing? Spinner's Ritual Vet. Okay, let's see what these look like. Bitchin'. So what do these things do? Plus 10% dodge. Okay. Extra property. Oh, okay. Oh. Cool. Cool, okay. If I were not the tank in the party, that would actually be pretty frickin' sweet. Okay, yeah, no shit, the countless deaths.
I'm restless.
Follow my lead!
are... What rumors do I have? Eccentric and... Oh, yes.
None shall stand in my way.
Tom and Seth has honored us with a visit. We are glad. First spinner. Peace, Kibella. You are the shield. You are the shadow. You are the blade. So be them. I will take my leave now. So the second spinner. Well, I'm glad these people are happy to see me.
I rise to the occasion.
Ooh, okay. Alright, well, more shit to give to the Goth girl. Spinner's Blade, alright. Whoa! Well, okay, so their weapons just drip with blood. Good to know.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Let me show you the way, Daman. Show me the way. Freight line. Alright, let's save. Captain Fresno has acquired a few wounds since your last conversation. Half of his ear is gone, and you notice he is wearing a bloodied bandages under his uniform. Saying you, he quickly injects himself with a stimulant and straightens. How may I serve you, Lord Captain? Were you in a shootout? Yes, there's been a raid on a local gang. We finally cleared out the scoundrels who were smuggling goods to neighboring compartments. No one escaped. Freddenso permits himself a brief smile of grim satisfaction. Enforcers have been appropriating ration cards from the workers and returning from their shifts. Why is that? Are you short on provisions? The compartment has just enough food to avoid starvation, Lord Captain. That is why the enforcers are making sure no serf has more cards than they're supposed to. They used to rip out people's tongues for it, but I reduced the punishment to simply beating the thieves and confiscating all their cards. The orders are to give these cards to the workers who are starving due to a lack of work shifts. Not that it helps them much, but it's better than nothing. Frenzo scoffs. Are there enforcers guilty of misappropriation, confiscated items? Yes. Do those caught stealing receive punishment? Absolutely. I finished inspecting this bay. Will there be any orders based on the inspection's conclusions? I don't want to be the dick, but I have to be the dick, because I am the commissar. Still, you earn more goodwill with honey than you do with vinegar, so... And it's not like I'm hurting for it. The workers are to be provided with everything they need to service the freight line properly. Yeah, it's like healthy, motivated workers are going to go out of... Especially when they're just being... Yeah. Food and medicine will be delivered to the bay, and you are to demote any enforcers found to be abusing their authority to the status of workers. Orders understood. Invictum Irabus gained the ability Educated Labor. The flagship's hull integrity is increased by 10. The plating of all scepters on the flag... Ooh! I definitely like this. I definitely do like this. I was attacked. Who dared? I'm only going to ask this once. How did wretches from the lower decks get their hands on a crate of autoguns? Autoguns? Purple spots appear on his face. Warp, take me. They couldn't have bypassed the security of a munitions train and walked away with the cargo without help from someone in the Enforcers. I executed one reprobate who was trafficking weapons not too long ago, but even that moron wasn't so greedy and stupid as to arm the rabble with autoguns. So there is another who dishonors the Enforcer's uniform. I will find the maggot and shove their head under... Okay, that's a little excessive. I encountered mutants in the Pestilence Pit. They seem to be under the influence of unholy powers. You went into the Pestilence Pit? You? Into the Pestilence Pit? Friendso stares off into the distance as he speaks. Pardon me, Lord Captain, I just can't even begin to find the words I would use if I had to tell the Master-at-Arms that you had perished there. That's why I didn't tell you, so you wouldn't have to think. He rubs his temple warily. The Enforcers do regular checks to see if there are any dangerous blight-stricken rejects hiding at the bottom of the bay. I implore you, Captain, leave this job to us. Be steadfast in your duties, Captain Fresno. I'm just going to call him Fresno from now on. The Emperor protects, Lord Captain. I wonder if the environment changed now that I've, Let's go see the foreman, see if he has anything to say. Oh, good. How is your life and the new rules I set? Much better, and we appreciate your care. We have half as many hungry and sick these days. May the Emperor bless you for the mercy you've shown us. Excellent. Excellent.
Victory away!
If they're not starving, then they're working. Now, obviously, if they ain't working, then they're starving. Because, you know, you work for your food. He who does not work does not eat. let's go to the astropathic Schipper. Well, let's not bring the Xenos along. Let's bring Idira. You know, just because it's funny. It might be funny for them to poke at her. Hey, Diggs. Ah, it's not that big of a place. Chapel servant. Interesting. I see shit to rob. Ugh, they're staring at me. It's like I'm just passing through, alright? You can calm down.
A new challenge for me?
This Explorator is blessed with multifunctionality.
Cool. The back of the throne is smeared with something dark, red, and old. Okay. Mine. Underneath the grill, you can see enormous outlines of formidable machines in the greenish. Okay. Well. This is really well done. I have no fucking clue what this is. It's like one of those music boxes, you know, the rotary music boxes. They're going heavy on the music themes here. Logic.
My success is an irrefutable certainty.
Okay. Having dry clicking notes the chapel's melody every time a manipulator watch the dents in the drum. Yeah, it's okay, weird. Very, very strange, but okay. Let's talk to my choir master. Oh, what's this? Okay. A deceased navigator's organ repurposed for... Oh, okay. Choirmaster Zachary Wise, a tall old man in a long green robe, stands motionless in front of a cogitator. The closer you approach, the clearer you can hear his continuous, unintelligible whisper. You are about to call his name when he falls silent sharply and turns towards you first. Lord Captain? A visit from the rogue trader is an honor for us. Like other astropaths at the chapel, the choirmaster's eyes are bandaged over with time-worn scrolls of sacred manuscripts. Nevertheless, you cannot shake the feeling that his otherworldly glowing gaze is studying you keenly. How can I be of use, your lordship? Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one of which robs every astropath of the gift of sight. But in return, they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. The light emanating from beneath the bandages flickers with strange hues as the choirmaster clutches his temple. His expression shifts in a way that you are well familiar with. It is the look of one who has glimpsed the grim signs that evil has left upon your soul. Yep. Oh, did my nightmare scald you? My apologies, your lordship. I sensed a strangeness in you, and my mind reached out of its own accord. I did not see much, but what I did see was enough. It grieves me to know that this mark weighs on you so. Trust me, I am well acquainted with the oppressive burden of doom. Ah, tell me about the astropathic wire. Of course, Lord Captain. Is there something specific you'd like to know? Yeah, point to the mechanical drum. What device is this? It is the sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and, to an extent, unriddle messages. The astropaths first receive these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word. From the reels of the receivers on the ceiling, the machine-recorded words are routed through lines under the floor, into transcribers, and then to the thesaurus core. This core is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and the methods of their interpretation. The compiler... Oh, that's what this drum... Okay, so we're going to go to the drum. The compiler matches the images in the message against its data and forwards the result to the central cogitator and myself so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from the perplexing imagery, the astropaths must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than the rites of receiving or sending an astropathic message. How does one become an astropath? Oops. Well, I just asked the question about where I would get more astropath if something happens. I wanted to be, diplomatic, but the expression on his wrinkled face grows even more serious. It would be more potent. It would be more important to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warp's various influences. However, there are horrors dwelling in the void for which even this defense would be no obstacle. Especially if one spends as much time in their company as we do. There is only one way to procure astropaths, and that is through the Adeptus Administratum. Luck permitting, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship, ones who, for whatever reason, have lost their place of service. Failing that, the request will go to Terra, and we will have to wait a long time. That said, there are other options, blasphemous, forbidden options. Choir master grimaces, unsanctioned psychers, unprotected and broken souls who seldom live past their first few seances. But even those should do. Should the God Emperor put our souls through the severe trials, and judging by how rabid the warp has been of late, by the number of dead astropaths, those trials will be upon us sooner than our prayers could reach Terra. I know of a couple places where you can get new astropaths, Adira grins maliciously. That's of course if you don't insist on them being all classy and proper like this fried-eyed bunch. Okay. I wish to discuss other topics. I am listening carefully, Lord Captain. We will speak later. I have business to attend to. Okay. I didn't want to take too much on that.
It's about time.
I agree, Seth. To other compartments. Yeah, we'll go to the bridge first. See if anything is changed or shifted up here. And then after that, we'll head down, because I have a trial I have to reside over. well, we'll quickly shoot past that. Actually, wait, hang on. We'll quick save first. Alright. Now, to the officer's deck. Do I wish to have Earlets along with me? No! I wish to have Abelard. Should I? Yeah, let's get Earlet. Let's bring her along. Nope, I changed my mind. Abelard. I gotta level Abelard up anyway. Oh, pardon me. I should not have been snacking on spicy tortillas. No, not tortillas. Chips and spicy sauce. Sourback barks at the officers gathered before you. His lordship, the rogue trader, has seen fit to honor us with his presence in order to monitor the course of the investigation. You are expected to perform your duties immaculately and report your every step to me. Should any of your actions bring shame to the enforcers, you will answer to me personally. Lord Captain, the 3 officers before you have been tasked with conducting the investigation. First, Captain Klein is a veteran with a record of quelling uprisings of mutants' abominations in the colonies. Captain Ginevere is young, but she has already preempted several mutinies among the ship's rabble. Lastly, there is Captain... Why, Games Workshop? Why? Why do you torment me with such ridiculous names? Captain Hirokto. His interrogation skills deserve credit, and he knows how to instill fear and respect firmly in the minds of the riffraff. You notice the enforcers exchange a few astounded glances and throw their shoulders back. Apparently, they are not used to standing so close to figures as renowned. Why am I renowned? Oh, yes. As you. After carefully addressing the officers bearing and their uniforms, Abelard nods with satisfaction. Their drilling is good. Their service records are excellent. Let's see how they perform in the field. What are your findings thus far? We have discovered a worker's corpse, mutilated and desiccated. We are still looking into the man's identity and position, but the church in the report has confirmed that among the blood that was pumped into your bedchamber, the blood carrying the mutation was indeed his. I see. Workers from nearby decks have been checked for genetic aberrations, but the mutations identified are within the norm for the laboring masses. They are being rounded up for interrogation as we speak. Even taking into account the neighboring decks only, that constitutes hundreds of people. How do you plan to question them all? Our interrogation techniques are broad and varied. However, nothing loosens the tongue like corporal punishment, beatings, mutilations, torture, public executions. Ah, the old standby. Sourbeck almost purrs as she lists the way of making people suffer. And now we're back to being disturbed. When combined with psychological pressure, such message works wonders. An unfortunate necessity. Oh, well, no, a fine approach, I approve. I am a commissar. Well, okay, because I'm playing the smart commissar, not the asshole commissar here. So, an unfortunate necessity. Let us return to other matters. Indeed, Lord Captain, most unfortunate, says the master at arm, a bloodthirsty smirk stealing across her face. Do you have any working theories? The mutants are plotting, Klein spits in disgust. They've been breeding like void rats, so they're getting cocky. Must have wanted to infect your lordship with their plague. Ick. It wasn't an attempt on the Lord Captain's life, it was a threat. The rabble are planning to revolt, so they're trying to terrorize us. Soon you will drown in blood. Insurgents pride themselves on such metaphor. You know, actually, the first guy I'm not so big on, but the second one, Ginevere, is, yeah, she makes a little bit more sense. Meanwhile, Captain Hroktko is convinced that it was the work of Voitvir surviving cult. That's actually a reasonable good point. However, I believe this to be a warning rather than a threat. What we need to establish is who is trying to warn us and of what. Alright, what do you propose we investigate first? The body. Once we have ascertained the dead man's identity, we'll be able to locate his associates and narrow down the number of suspects. Captain Klein is in charge of examining the corpse. Yes, your lordship, I'm almost done with my report. As soon as it's ready, I will deliver it to you. Then, let us begin. While we wait for Klein to report back, please enjoy the refreshments that we have been prepared for you, Lord Captain. Oh, I think that's my Infernus Master. A pair of enforcers with battered faces is escorting Infernus Master Heinrich Montag. His lip is busted, his knuckles are grazed and covered with blood, and there is a chewed-up load stick between his teeth. One of the enforcers droned nasally. We apprehended him while he was trying to break through the detained rebel. Got into a scuffle. We barely managed to restrain the troublemaker. He demanded an audience with you, Mistress Saubach. The Master-at-Arms nods, and the enforcers release their prisoner. Heinrich adjusts his clothes and approaches confidently. What do your enforcers think they're doing, Jocasta? Why are you assaulting my people, denying them water like the criminals? You got teenagers and elderly folk here. They're all just ordinary workers. They've done nothing wrong. No, Heinrich, what do you think you're doing? Attacking my people, chastising me in front of the Lord Captain? Get out before I have you charged. Heinrich looks up at you. Your lordship, I ask you to please protect your servants from this abuse. Have patience, Heinrich. As soon as the culprit is found, your people will be released. Once again, I'm playing the smart commissar. I don't want to piss off my Master-at-Arms. In that case, I request permission to join my family. So be it. Let him join his family. Yes, exactly. Like the stick and the carrots. The stick was telling him to be patient, and the carrot is letting him see his family. I hope you find the culprit before another 100 workers are forced to suffer the same undue punishment. Captain Klein snaps to attention. Identifying the victim has proven impossible. His face has been smashed in and his body has been badly maimed. There are too many wounds to determine the exact cause of death, but presumably he died after the killer slit his throat, and that's how they drained his blood. That was a lot of blood, okay? One man could not supply that much blood to fill up my bathtub. And I'm not just talking about the one in game. I'm talking about the one I have in my own frickin' condo, okay? One person, well, unless they're a morbidly obese person, have a lot of liquid in their body. But let's not go there, you know. Ugh. No external signs of mutation were found. Okay. In other words, we have nothing. Klein, this isn't a report, it's a declaration of our incompetence before the Lord Captain. You will keep digging around until you have produced the results. Study the enforcers' faces. Jinveri looks at Klein with sympathy. She clearly cares about him, but does not wish to trample on her comrade's honor with words of comfort. Hroktko regards Klein with a contemptuous smirk, while Klein scowls back at him. No external signs of mutations, you say? What about internal signs? Performing an autopsy was inadvisable due to the danger of contaminating the area with genetic aberration. Awareness, you see a flash of genuine horror before his gaze turns glassy. Interesting. You've seen that look before, the eyes of other veterans. It's the expression of someone reliving painful memories that have left behind deep scars. They cannot hope to overcome such trauma on their own. They would need help, or a partner, or perhaps some strong emotional stimulus. Yes, set them against one another. Well, not set them against one another, but, like, I have heard that Medicaid officers often perform autopsies in pairs. One cuts up the body, the other records the findings. You should get a partner, Klein. It would seem that I had an exaggerated opinion of this veteran's courage. He should get some rest. Let Horakto take over his duties. Indeed, Klein. Why don't you take a break? Maybe it's time you considered asking for a transfer to a less demanding post. Your best years are behind you. You should make way for the younger generation. Klein's face turns a deep red. Shut your damn mouth, Horakto. The things I've seen, the filth I've crushed. You want me to gut another one? You want to see its mutilated blood on my hands? I'll show you blood. Well played, Lord Captain. It's been some time since I last saw this kind of fire in the old man's eyes. Exactly. As it should be. Klein is up to his elbows in blood, his eyes flaring defiantly. I've examined the filth inside out. His innards are a genetic nightmare. It's a bag of corruption wrapped in human skin. Extra organs, scales, atrophied ingrown limb. Extra limbs? But that's not what's important. The body was disfigured posthumously. They killed the mutant with surgical precision before opening his throat and draining his blood. It wasn't until after the actual murder that they crushed his head and tried to cover up his wounds. The wounds were so brutal I almost missed his work tattoo, but the victim was a pipe warden, and I found this in his throat. Klein presents a blood-stained raven feather. Okay. Imperium test succeeded. A certain legend springs to your mind, one involving Saint Quirin, who was granted a portent of his enemies hiding among the faithful. When Quirin prayed to the Emperor for a sign that it might reveal the traitors, a raven's feather birthed out of her mouth and inscribed the names of the conspirators. Only someone versed in the symbology of the Imperium could have left such a message. Remember Saint Quirin? Could this be a sign? Vile mutants do not make allusions to saints. This was someone well versed in the creed. What tattoo? What do pipe wardens have to do with anything? The pipe wardens are a worker clan that services the ship's sewer systems. The tattoo indicates the worker's status and personal number. This one was SP24601, Senior Pipe Warden. Klein, I wish to give... Yes, once again, the carrots and the stick. I have given him the stick, now I shall give him the carrots. Klein, I wish to gift you a glass of Amasec for your good work. You look like you need it. Klein accepts the glass and downs it instantly. Evidently, he is in no state to savor the bouquet and taste the fine drink you have offered him. It is imperative that we find whoever mutilated the body. I concur. Would you like to give us specific instructions, Lord Captain? One cannot disfigure a body like that and stay clean. Look for blood-stained garments, rags, and the like. If the perpetrator was in a hurry to cover their tracks, they may not have time... Okay. I thank your lordship for wise counsel. For what purpose was the corpse mutilated? Someone wanted to hide the cause of death. What I fail to understand... I'm going to need to refute... I'm going to need to... Actually, might as well do it right now. I'm going to take a quick second and just go refill my glass. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Just thought I'd grab a snack too while I was out. I apologize if there's any crunching in the background. I just grabbed some chips and some salsa. Alright. We should run the victim's identification number through the master worklog cogitator. If its machine spirit favors us, we'll be able to narrow down the number of suspects. Ginevri, this is your arena. Ginevri approaches you, followed by a dignified woman in crimson robes. Allow me to introduce the esteemed tech priest, Androvetta Phi. She believes she has the right to obstruct the investigation and refuse to grant the enforcer's access to the master cogitator. Why? Tech priest lets out an indignant binary trill. I request that the laywoman's willful activities be halted. She intends to torment machine spirit of the master work cogitator Iota 3B. The venerable machine spirit is ill and is in no disposition to endure such abuse. What's the problem with the machine spirit? The machine spirit is old and quick to anger. It therefore calls for a sensitive approach, not a torturous intrusion by a brutish laywoman. Since the start of this watch, the spirit has been unwell, so we've been trying to soothe its woes by applying sacred unguents and sensing the great machine's boards. The dogma of data recuperation quarantine prohibits any disturbances to the blessed machines. Okay, what exactly does it prescribe? Let no profane hand touch the sacred machine stricken. Let the mechanism be shielded from all worldly troubles by a veil of righteous litany, and let its shrine be thricely honored till malady is no more. Judging by Ginevri's expression, she would rather have her profane hands touch Androvetta Phi's neck. Pascal, how profane would you say your hands are? Persuasion. Lay people may be prohibited from communing with the machine spirit, but you are not, esteemed tech priest. Ginevri will merely stand at your side and observe. Androvetta Phi shoots Ginevri a sidelong glance. Very well. I shall disturb the spirit, but I demand that the laywoman show respect and do as she is told. Raising her hands high, Androvetta Phi wails, Omnissiah preserve us, the Great Spirit was infected by a layperson. This is the culprit you should be searching for, not some pipe warden. Sacrilege! What? Registering a Category 3 act of sacrilege resulting in a Category Epsilon Quadro transgression scenario. Requesting the inclusion of the offender in the Registry of Wanted Entities for the purpose of expiatory disposal. Okay, thank you for someone translating. We have discovered that the cogitator's malfunction began after an unauthorized attempt to access it was made. Someone deliberately angered the machine spirit in order to bury the work logs. Thankfully, the esteemed tech priest was able to appease the spirit and extract the information we needed. The victim's name was Orto. On the day he died, he was servicing valve 27-B, which supplies water to the rogue trader's bath chamber. He also had a partner who has yet to appear for duty since the incident occurred. We have a suspect. Did the murderer get to the cogitator too? Impossible. Since the start of the watch, this area has been used as a center of operations. No rabble could have slipped by unnoticed. Moreover, a common pipe warden wouldn't know how to commune with a machine spirit. The murderer had help. Who was the partner? Senior pipe warden Gwedon, number SP-268-55, an 8th generation pipe warden, no registered infraction, excellent discipline, perfect work record, and exemplary servant of the Imperium. Master at Arms, how do you propose we find our new suspect? Before Sauerbeck can respond, Hrokto cuts in. Your lordship, there was a man named Gwedon among the rabble waiting to be interrogated. He immediately struck me as suspicious. Please allow me to question the man in your presence. Alright. Sauerbeck narrows her eyes, but all she says is, bring him in. No. End dialogue. Before you stands a gaunt man in work clothes. His face is swollen from bruises and several of his fingers are broken and sticking out at odd angles. He stares vacantly into the distance with watery eyes. Start talking, you miserable wretch. You tried to kill the Lord Captain, didn't you? Hirokto grabs the worker by the lapels. Gwendon's coat flies open, revealing crude occult symbols painted all over his body. What is this? Heretical brands? Cultist scum. Gwendon yells, bearing what remains of his teeth. Yes, it was me. I tried to put a curse on the Lord Captain. I killed my partner in a wicked ritual, rubbed elbows with them demons, consorted with them. All to carry out a dark plot and doom the Lord Captain for the glory of my almighty master. He bursts into a fit of hysterical, theatrical cackling. Eh? His words, he is trying to paint over them with fake garish hues, but his abject terror carries with it too much black and gray. What does he hope to accomplish with it? Also, thank you, Cassia. Thank you for being a walking lie detector. I love you. He has admitted to everything, the vermin. I have insisted time and time again that the assassination attempt was carried out by one of Voigtvir's surviving henchmen, and I was right. I guess we weren't so thorough in clearing them out as we thought. Hirokto casts a sharp look at Sarbak. Assess the Enforcer's reaction to the confession. Hirokto looks proud and self-important. Ginevri is biting her nail, as if hesitant to say anything. Sarbak is observing the worker in silence, apparently sunk deep in thought. Meanwhile, Klein merely stands still with a distrustful grimace on his face. Other than Hirokto, no one here seems to believe you are looking at the real culprit. Does the Master-at-Arms not find it strange that the suspect is so eager to paint himself as a heretic, and in such a preposterous fashion, no less? I agree, Lord Captain. Sarbak growls at the worker. I want the truth. Who are you, and what have you done? Who told you to give us this pathetic confession? The man blanches and starts bawling. He gives up on his sinister theatrics and babbles the voice of a common worker. Forgive me, your lordship. I'm not Gwendon, and I'm not a heretic. Yart's the name. I'm a laundryman. Please have mercy. They took my family. That enforcer said she'd throw them out the airlock if I didn't confess. She made me draw these unholy marks on myself. Abelard casts a significant glance in Sauerbach's direction. Your enforcers have a knack for persuasion, Mr. Sauerbach, but this is ridiculous. What enforcer? Name! Give me her name. Ginevri. Her name was Ginevri. What? I swear that I have not... Ginevri? The steely edge in Sauerbach's voice causes everyone's present to freeze. But you also hear a note of bewilderment. We will deal with her later. I will handle the search for Gwendon myself. Lord Captain, would you have us execute this daemon worshipper? Hold on. He's lied to us more than once, and maybe he's lying to us now. Ginevri, what do you have to say? I have never threatened his family, and I certainly did not force him to lie and draw the heretical signs. I barely even remember his face. I may have interrogated him beforehand, but that was someone else who put him up to this. And yet he knows your name and pointed you out right away. Do you not find that funny? And do you not find it funny that your head is always up your arse, Hirokto? It's obvious that someone framed her. Okay. Ceases bickering. Sauerbach's snarl forces the officers back down. Lord Captain, what we have here is a liar, and a well-coached one at that. He will never confess on his own. What do you suggest we do? I refuse to believe there is not a single person who saw them being manhandled. Find those witnesses. That makes sense. You cannot beat a man half to death without everyone in the compartment getting wind of such a scene. We will look into it. What do you want us to do with them when we are done? This is true. Even, yeah, because, yes, even farcical symbols and mentions of the archenemy are capable of drawing corruption. Yes, this is 100% true. There is no cause for alarm, Lord Captain. This conspirator may have been fake, but now it's only a matter of time before we find the real culprit. We have the Pipe Warden's names and identification numbers, and we know which clan they are from. We will keep pressing the riffraff until either the culprit confesses or someone turns him in. I will handle this. The Master-at-Arms pointedly grips the maul in her belt. Please enjoy your meal in the interim, Lord Captain. The scoundrels will appear before us soon enough. Lord Captain, the real Pipe Warden. Gwennon has been found and is being escorted here as we speak. Are there any remaining questions you wish to address before we hear from Gwennon himself? You can start by reporting on the additional efforts, the results of the additional investigative efforts. Absolutely, Lord Captain. Your insightful suggestion helped the enforcers to locate the evidence. In fact, we found a bloody synth coat in one of the vents, a standard issue included in every enforcer outfit on the ship. Oh, okay. We found witnesses to the battery of our false conspirator. According to them, an enforcer in a helmet came to the detained Yart, spoke to him, and then gave him a beating so thorough that a ring came off their finger. Alas, said ring could not be recovered. That concludes my report. Someone attempted to mislead our investigation. We cannot let this go without consequences. Undoubtedly, let us go over the facts we have in this sabotage and compile them. The body of the deceased was mutilated after death. It is likely the nature of his injuries would have proven very useful in the investigation, and that the perpetrator concealed them for that very reason. Someone sabotaged the work log cogitator so that it would be harder for us to find the victim's partner, who might have valuable information to the investigation. Instead of the murdered man's partner, we were given a fool, one who thoroughly incriminated himself first before admitting that was Captain Ginevri that put him up to it. Sourback glowers at Ginevri, and she pales with fear. Who was guarding the body? It was Ginevri. Klein reluctantly nods at his fellow enforcer. I relieved her when I came to inspect the corpse, which had already been cut up. Ginevri nervously adjusts her armor under Sourback's piercing gaze. The corpse was already looking like that when it came under my purview, but I could not get the name of the officer who discovered it. The deck was such a mess, I decided I would deal with it later. A bloody synth coat was discovered not far from the corpse. I would ask the enforcers in this room to present their coats. The rustle of synthetic fabric fills the room. All the enforcers show their coats, except Hirokto. He shrugged complacently under the gaze of his comrades. I do not wear it. An enforcer must be able to understand the cold, and the Sir treats synth coat as a sign of weakness. Interesting. Behind the armor of affected indifference, his thought ooze grimy hues, like blood mixed with umber. It looks vile. Okay. Who had access to the workload cogitator? The tech priest did not let anyone near the cogitator. They even tried to prevent the enforcer's investigation. Ginevri, were you there the entire time? Yes, ma'am, since the start of the watch. I went there right after I'd handed the body over to Klein. The only time I stepped away to retrieve a data slate from my quarters, I left a watchman. But he went missing. Most likely one of the officers did not realize he was on duty and sent him off on some errand, but I was only gone for a few minutes. Very convenient. A missing sentry, a data slate misplaced against regulations. Hirokto drums his fingers on a holster on his belt where his own data slate sits nicely tightly nestled. I don't understand how I could have forgotten it. I always check my gear when I go on duty. Suspect Yart claims that you coerced him into lying about himself, Ginevra. What do you have to say for yourself? I may have conducted his preliminary interrogation, like so many others. Hirokto requested my assistance because of my experience in dealing with the rabble, but I swear there is no truth to these accusations against me. I have never threatened his family, and I certainly did not force him to lie and draw heretical signs. I barely even remember his face. I may have interrogated him beforehand, but it was someone else who put him up to this. The transcript says you conducted Yart's interrogation alone. Why is that? Because I can handle a single laundryman. Witnesses saw Yart being knocked around by an enforcer wearing a ring. Let me see your hands. The enforcer takes off her gloves. Not one of the enforcers take off. Not one of them was wearing a ring. But however, you find a small mark on Hirokto's little finger, as if he'd been wearing some sort of band on it for a long time. Yes. Yes. Are you no longer wearing your family ring, Hirokto? Klein gives him a bloodthirsty scowl. Not on duty, and certainly not in a compartment full of detained rabble. His voice remains icily calm. It points to Hirokto. This is your doing, is it not? Sauerbeck draws her auto pistol and points it at Hirokto, who appears entirely unperturbed. I will give you one chance to retain your last shred of honor and confess. You sabotaged the investigation. Why? Is it not obvious? Yes! Is it not obvious? Hirokto smugly arches an eyebrow. To expose the conspiracy myself, and to prove your incompetence to his lordship. To take the place I actually deserve. For years I toiled for the good of the dynasty. But when the former Master-at-Arms was killed, I was refused my promotion. Instead, they give the position to you, a self-serving Sauerbeck nit. I guess the noble names means more than talent. When this crime occurred, I realized it was my chance to show what I was worth. While you were busy dallying, I quickly learned the name of the suspect, diverted the course of the investigation, an easy enough task, and began looking for the real Gwedon. Had I found him in time, your position would have already been mine, Jocasta. Simply listen to yourself, and you will understand why they made me Master-at-Arms. Lord Captain, I request permission to dispose of this, refuse personally. Yeah, no, it dogmatic, 100% here. Why were you trying to frame Ginevra? A backup plan. You always need someone to blame if you make a mistake. Hirokto's voice sounds calm, even casual. I could have framed Klein, but that young upstart was already galloping through the ranks too fast and was clearly aiming for my station. Besides, she and her thick-witted subordinates were always right where I wanted. Always right where I wanted them to be. You do not seem to fear punishment. With all due respect, your lordship, I am an enforcer. I have looked death in the eye. I will accept your judgment with dignity. There's no bravado in Hirokto's words, just a dry statement of fact. Yep, dogmatic. I cannot have infighting among my men. And women. Hirokto tries to speak, but his words are cut off by a devastating blow to the jaw. He collapses to the ground, but Sauerbeck raises them all again and delivers another blow, this time straight to his ribs. She stretches out the pleasure, slowly crushing his bones and savoring every scream. When she is done, she finally allows the bloody mess that was once Hirokto to die where it lies. Yes. That takes care of the traitor. Now let us proceed with the interrogation of the pipe warden. I had forgotten. The pipe warden does his best to remain reverentially bowed which paints a rather comical picture given his formidable height and complexion. He lowers his head, tugging at his beard. Senior Pipe Warden Gwedin, honored to serve, Lord Captain. I'm ready to confess to everything. You are the real Pipe Warden, are you not? I am, and I'm proud of it, Lord Captain. A Pipe's Warden's craft is hard work, but necessary. My number is SP-268-55. My work partner was the late Orto, number SP-246-01. I oversee the water supply systems on the upper deck sectors A3, K8, and R2. That includes Valve 27B. There can be no mistake. I have verified the identity myself. It's also been confirmed by the other workers. Why did you fill my bath with blood? I did as the blood spinner command. Of course. I did as the blood spinner commanded. She said the Emperor gave the first spinner a sign that your lordship should be bathed in the blood of poor Orto, my partner. And I, well, he gulps. The servants of the death are terrifying, so I obeyed. The first spinner? Are you talking about the vizier of the blood-spun web? Yes, that's him. He leads the death cults, and the lot who worship the Emperor by killing. His spinners hunt down heretics, but sometimes they take the righteous lives too. Their service is mysterious, fervent, and bloody. If the vizier ordered it, there must have been a reason. The Undying One must have revealed something to him that we are ignorant of. Did you kill your mutant partner? I didn't kill him, and I didn't know he was a mutant. Orto and I always got along, even if he wasn't much for talking. But then, he shudders, a blood spinner came from the darkness, ended him quickly and harshly. She bled him dry and put a black feather in his throat. She told me to pump blood into the pipes, and then she left. I wanted to confess, but I was afraid she'd come for me she'd come for me too if I did. Summon the Vizier of the Blood-Spun Web. I wish to hear his explanation, considering I just was with him earlier. As you will, Lord Captain. The Vizier of the Blood-Spun Web treads lightly and silently, as if his old, gaunt body has no weight at all. He whispers weakly, Domin Seth willed to see me, so I have come. Nod respectfully. I have summoned you to discuss the actions of your apprentices. The Vizier responds in an equally respectful manner. Let their deeds be weighed. Investigation has established that the blood-spun web orchestrated an attack on his lordships by means of pouring unholy blood into his bath. This affront... The old man's murmur drowns out Sauerbach's relentless voice. Domin Seth knows the truth, so it was done, for so did I will. It was no affront, but a prophecy, for my hands to divine. Unsullied martyrs offered their souls and bodies to his imperishable embrace. I gazed into the red rivers of their smoldering lives, and I did see a roiling, unclean, staining the bays, reaching for the anointed Lord of the Ark. In my apprentice's last sighs, I heard the Undying One's whisper. He bid me bathe the Domin in the blood of he who must go, and who have been righteous, for this will shield the Domin and strengthen his body against the roiling unclean. I obeyed. Cabela, did you know about this? When I saw the wound made by the hand of a fellow believer, I guessed, but the Vizier chose not to warn you. So it was, of course. You had to figure this shit out on your own. Alright, fine. But the Vizier chose not to warn you, and so it was not my place to do so either. If there had been a plot against you and the knife aimed at you, I would have given you some sign. But the Vizier means you no harm. He is your servant. Where your other subjects' threads are clear and straight, his lie in the shadows of hints and secrets. Trust him as I do. Alright. What do you mean by the roiling unclean? He did not reveal, but it is corruption itself. It offends him. It tastes as sweet as fetid waters in old pipes. Its promises are the deception of an enforcer's smile. Its face, Elusive. Alright. The man you killed, who was he? I know not. I heard only the name, and I knew he must go. He listened to the empty space above his shoulder and nods. Yes, we need no more knowledge than that. Okay. Master-at-Arms, are you convinced we have found the culprits? The situation is cleared, your lordship. Sauerbeck makes the sign of the Aquila. The Emperor has sent us a portent. The protector of mankind guides the hands of his holy servants to guard us and warn of hidden threats. God Emperor, I thank thee for protecting us, even though there are instruments of your protection whose purity and holiness I may never understand. So, why did... this is Argenta basically saying, why didn't you send it to me? It should have been me, not him. Could it be a coincidence that the victim of the ritual was a genetic aberration? The officers around you keep a respectful silence, but you can tell by their faint smiles that they find the idea of doubting the Emperor's providence absurd. Yeah, they'll face no punishment. The Vizier freezes, listening to the silence, and nods to nothing. Yes, yes, I will tell him. He turns his stone-shut eyes to you once more. We are seeds in your hands, giver of life. Whether you keep us or scatter us, we will remain grateful. Be that as it may, we've hit a dead end. We hope that the exposing the culprits would lead us to the aberration's lair. Yeah, let the blood-spun web do it. But no spinner or brave warrior from the Domin Circle can find the roots of the unclean, for it can appear as human and act as human. Only its thoughts betray its vile nature. Only its thoughts are never human. Okay. Wise. Anxious silence falls the moment Sauerbeck says this one word. She narrows her eyes. Is it unclean thoughts we need to find? Very well, let Wise find them. He knows how, no matter how badly he wishes that the rest of us would forget about it. Veni Zachary is a fearsome hunter. When he hunts, the flagship wails. When he thinks, my teeth creak. And I can feel pain as if I am young again, but his power is great indeed. He can hunt down our prey. How can the choir master of the Astropath be of use to us? The esteemed Zachary Wise can perform the rituals of thought reading. The practice lets him do cursory examination of the minds of thousands of people in search of certain individual, a ritual as rare as it is dangerous. And only someone as versed as Master Wise can accomplish such a feat. Has he done this before? Once, Lady Theodora Mays uses... Once, Lady Theodora made use of his services to expose spies on board, who apparently had been in the employ of Lord Inquisitor Calcazar. That is all. Not everyone here seems to be eager. I would say that the one least eager would be Master Wise himself. Last time his efforts caused some severe warp manifestations. The ritual is truly perilous. Not to put too fine a point on it, Wise nearly destroyed the ship back then. Incidentally, he gave us multiple warnings that this could happen. Lady Theodora ignored him, and we reaped the results. Oh, why do I get the feeling that I know what will happen next? I'm not going to force Adira to do this. She's already got enough trouble on her own. That's all, Master-at-Arms. Your duty is done. I give you leave to wrap up the investigation on the officer's deck. My duty will be done when the threat is eliminated. I will brief the enforcers while you consult the choir master. Okay. That was one very, very long conversation. Alright, let's do some exploring. Because I need to do something to break up, because if I'm going to go into another hour, because I think that was a full hour of just talking. Oh. Foulstone, okay. Where am I going? Malcontents. Okay, well. This should be interesting. Von Valencia's dynasty was publicly insulted by the colony's governor. Execute the governor. The execution of the colony's familiar, long-serving leader sends a wave of alarm and conspiratorial whispers through the populace. Yeah, profit factor is always good. Everybody needs a good execution now and again. Okay. I have no idea how badly this is going to go. I have no idea if getting here will even allow me to scan, so... We're gonna save. And we're gonna give this a try. A catastrophe in the Omnissiah's Hall. One of the Magi assigned by the machine called to serve, and the one has lost his mind. Singing distorted binaric liturgies. The heretic has broken the sacred code rhythms and turned the ship's machine against the rest of the crew. The supers... okay. To battle. Well, that's fucking frustrating. I've been here before.
Submit, and you'll die quickly!
If I may. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
Understand your intent. Serves your cause.
Okay.
Request approved. My competences are not that universal.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone! For you, my Emperor! I'll do it.
Oops.
Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen! As the Emperor commands, I act.
I would that I could. The shadows will caught by the web. As the tenets demand. Come, the other side awaits.
Okay, that's just fucking cool.
Let the blood of the wicked be shed, as thou
Opposing me
hast
was your
willed.
biggest mistake.
Okay. Woman, you terrify me.
Suits my purposes. My tactics are flawless. Already done. Suits my purposes.
Step aside. The navigator is coming. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. If it serves your cause, no weakness is hidden from my sight.
Scriptural prognosis is favorable. Quest approved. Running binaric override. My vow is to serve. Request approved. Vulnerability analysis successful.
Guided by faith. I'll do it. You, my emperor. This is why I was chosen. For you, my emperor. It's nothing.
I bring mercy and retribution. I feel nothing. Fear nothing. Trust me.
That was kind of cool.
Nothing I can't do. Not a problem for me. Nothing I can't do.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
Rejoice in battle! As the Emperor commands, I act. I refuse. Doubt is for the weak. This is why I eradicated. As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen!
Oh good, we get to go again? Thank you.
Faith without deeds is... Each strike is a prayer. For you, my Emperor!
The scriptural prognosis is favorable.
Hear you moving,
Order is
no more.
contrary to dogmatic protocols.
I am not your seed. If it serves your cause.
Running binary functions successfully terminated. Let the cycle be discontinued.
Yeah, we're definitely getting more deaths with Goth Girl here now.
Death comes in silence. I shall not fail.
That had better be
My
ineptitude,
blade
not
whispers
malice.
your name.
Ah! That can also hit my companions. Good to know. I was unaware of this.
Trust me.
done. Suits my purposes.
Excellent. Cassia, pull back. We don't need you there anymore.
Give me strength.
Ancestors, guide me. No weakness is hidden from my sight. If I must. Death is a blessing.
Request denied. Activate calculated fury algorithm. The Omnisire condemns you.
As the Emperor commands, I act. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
Kill him again.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment. In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
I am your blade and shield.
Nothing I can't do. All too easy. Suits my purposes.
Nice.
My vow.
As the Emperor commands, I act. God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. This is why I was chosen. I will not.
A dance of blades and shadows.
Oh!
The shadows will see it done. Let your soul be purged.
And then get her out of there. I am so glad I got her out of there.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. This is why I was so eradicated. Each strike is a prayer.
Sexy.
None shall stand in my way.
Well, we got that done. And there we go. That's how we deal with that shit. Alright. Let's just make that one dangerous now. Oh, 5 Promethium, okay. I still got plenty of Promethium, but it's good to know. Plasteel, I am not wasting that on Plasteel. More Plasteel. Okay.
I'll purge you from existence!
Okay.
I'm afraid not. Be careful not to cross my gaze. I am a navigator, not a servitor. Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Munch 'em!
Faith without deed. Eradicated. As the Emperor commands, I act. Doubt is for the weak. Power resides in the will of the righteous. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, each strike is a prayer. Faith without deeds is eradicated. I'll do it. Is a prayer. This is unacceptable. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands. I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, eradicate it.
In the name of House Orcelio, I shall prevail.
Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. For you, what is a crime?
I'm just watching Argenta slaughter
Faith
these
without
people.
deed. Eradicate. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. As the Emperor commands, I act. Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Doubt is for the weak. This is why I was chosen.
Okay, Argenta MVP in this fight.
This tedium is beneath me. I understand your intent.
Oh, never mind. The Plague Bearer's not there. Never mind.
I will not. I am not your sin. I deal death with my hands. I hear you moving. No more.
Explorators know one route. Forward. I'll enshrine the memory of this righteous moment.
Follow my lead. I bring mercy and retribution. My blade whispers your name.
Forge ahead!
Follow my lead.
And that's everybody. We one-rounded that! Holy shit! We did
Victory
all of that
awaits.
in one round. Oh my god. Those are probably Drukari. 1 second. Alright, let's go deal with them. The Rogue Trader's void ship is facing several Aldari scouts. The Xenos are in no hurry to attack, and time seems to have slowed down. One wrong move, and carnage will ensue. Yes! Ask Urlet. Urlet's speech is met with a torrent of Aldari abuse that is too much for even the Rogue Trader's Elucidor. The Xenos accuse her of betraying her kind by conspiring with the Monkeg and unceremoniously cut the communication. Yet they're no longer. Oh, cool! Well, thank you, Urlet. We didn't have to kill... Yeah, I think she's gonna like me for that one. Seriously. Why does Euphrates sound so damn familiar to me? This is the Forge world of Euphrates 2. It belongs to the explorators of the Cognizance Fleet. They colonized it centuries ago. Unfortunately, we do not possess the privilege of landing here. Oh, let us not disturb them. Okay. Well, alright then. You know what? We're almost at 3 hours. And the only thing... I've visited pretty much every system. The only thing I have left to do is... Wait, why have we got the wiggles? Oh, it's the cauldron, I guess? Weird. Anyway, so... Right, anyway. It's been about 3 hours, or almost 3 hours, so I think this is a good point to call the stream. We've got leveling up to do, we've got more story content to indulge in, but before we throw ourselves overboard and throw ourselves into the next big DLC story update, I think it's time that we slowed the roll and, well, I think it's time we just slowed down and portioned it out, because I will be back tomorrow. Is my actual day to stream tomorrow. Take it easy, everybody. Have your